Crossroads. Each Crossroads story is based on the actual experiences of American clergymen, pastor, priest, or rabbi, the men who give inspiration and guidance to people at the crossroads of life. Stories for Crossroads are selected by our Board of Advisors, Captain Maurice M. Witherspoon, Father George B. Ford, and Dr. William F. Rosenblum. This is Gloversville, West Virginia, a soft coal town in the Allegheny Mountains. This is how the people live, what they come home to, where they're born and die. Some die here, in the mine, nearly a half-mile down. Those who live work here, or grow up and work here, or try to make homes for those who do. When you're off work, this is where you meet your friends and cut up the bosses. You come here, or you stay home with the old lady, the kids. Here you can get a drink and forget the 8 hours a day you spend digging your own grave.
Well, one thing is certain, darling. There's plenty to be done here. It isn't exactly as I'd visualized our first church, but... Shall we take a chance? Go inside? Enough, darling?
Let's find the living quarters.
Should be back here.
It works, Dick.
All the modern conveniences, Mrs. Smith.
All we need, Mr. Smith. Good heavens, what was that?
Kate! Hey, Kate!
I don't know.
Kate!
Let's find out.
You want me to kick this door in? You hear me, Kate? I know you're in there. Hiding again. I'm your husband. You can't lock a door on me. You come out. What do you think you're doing?
I'm the minister of this church. What are you trying to do?
I got a wife in there, locked in. Want her to come home right now.
How do you know she's in there?
Oh, I know. Because every time I get... Well, never mind, I know. She's gonna come out right now and take me home.
What's your name, sir?
Orville Jackson.
Mrs. Jackson, if you're in there, you heard what your husband said. This is the new minister. You can come out if you wish or stay where you are. Either way, I'm taking your husband along home to sleep it off.
Oh, yeah. You stay out of this, minister. This is between me and my old lady. Dad! Mrs. Jackson. Hey. Oh, all right. Don't be shoving me around. I'm your father.
I know who you are. Get the moon out of your head and go to work. Your shift's already down the mine. I'll take Ma home.
Let him go.
I'm sorry about the old man. He's hard to handle when he gets heated up. Come on out, Ma. I sent him to work. She hates to see him like this. She hides from him.
Oh, Art, you didn't hurt your father, did you?
He wasn't feeling no pain, Ma.
You the new minister?
Mm-hmm.
I've been hiding here when there isn't any minister.
You're welcome to come here anytime, Mrs. Jackson.
I hope you folks like it here in Gloversville. It's kind of pretty. After a snow, the mountains look like just in the pictures. I hope you like it here.
Thank you, Mrs. Jackson. Mrs. Smith and I want Gloversville to like us, too. We're here to help any way we can. If you have any troubles, problems, don't forget where we are.
You're on the wrong mountain.
I don't understand.
Nobody up here sent for help. We got plenty of trouble, but we take care of it ourselves. Come on, Ma.
Well, I asked the mission board for work. A tough assignment. I can never say that they disappointed me.
Mrs. Jackson. There's a little soap and water and elbow grease.
Thanks to you for the elbow grease.
Well, you and the missus ain't been taking any rest cure. Oh, you folks are real people. I knew it last night. My man, roaring drunk. You didn't shame him, not a word. Is this your first time with the miners, Mr. Smith?
This is my first church, Kate. Right out of Princeton Seminary. Green as grass.
You've got a lot to learn. About miners, that is. They don't go to church, you know.
Well, there must be some reason. There almost has to be. They're no different.
Oh, yes, they are, honey. I know. My father, his brothers, all miners, and I married one. And my boy, he quit school to dig coal. They work in the dirt in the dark. And nobody from outside knows them or thinks about them. They just know that they're different.
No. Not in God's eye. They're men. His children. That's the least and the most that any man can be. They're not forgotten just because they spend 8 hours a day below ground. Not by him, not by God.
Well, then, God ought to show his face in the shaft. That's where the men really need him.
What is it, Art?
I come from Ma.
Well, you didn't have to do that, Art. I could have walked to him the way I come.
I ain't taking you home, Ma. I'm taking you to mine. You better hurry up. Come on.
Oh! Oh!
You're bartender, the foreman? How'd it happen?
Coal dust explosion. Concussion knocked down some of the roof. Jackson was careless. He paid for it. Coal mine never forgives.
Hello, Art. Anything I can do for you or your mother?
Ma says you're putting the old man in the ground.
Yes, I'm conducting the service. Anything special you'd like to have me say?
Just keep it short. That's how he'd want it. He never went to church in his life. So don't give him a big send-off.
Well, how would you go about it? What would you say, Art? How would you remember your father?
I'd remember he forgot to spread rock dust before he set off his charge in the working face. Coal dust won't explode when it's covered with limestone. That's what I'd tell him at the cemetery. Maybe it'd be a lesson to the other guys.
You wouldn't say anything else about him? About the kind of man your father was?
To those guys? They knew him.
Can he really mean that, Dick? All that his father's death means to him is that it might be a lesson to the other miners?
I don't know. I don't know what's in Art's mind. But I do know that his father's death has been a lesson to me. What was that Mrs. Jackson said about God? Why doesn't he ever show his face in the mind? Well, he's going to.
Put the Williams gang to work in the B5. Safety lamp showed a greater concentration of methane gas on the old level. Keep those fans running all night. Maybe we can clear up that situation. Yeah. Oh. Hello, preacher.
Hi.
What can I do for you? Want to go through the mines again?
Thanks, I do, but not today.
Yeah, the men got a great kick out of seeing a preacher down there. They still talk about it.
I still think it was time well spent, Bart. Only way a man could ever know how it feels to be buried under half a mile of rock is to go down there and find out.
Yeah, anytime you say. What's on your mind today?
I want to enlist you on a project, Bart.
The last time I heard that word, I ended up building an airstrip on Ewo.
No, this won't even take you out of Gloversville. The project's a safety school for miners, Bart, and I can't think of a better instructor than you. Why, I know you're busy, but...
I'm not as busy as you are, Mr. Smith. Because I'm only doing my job. Let me run the mine.
I never had any other idea.
You think I was just hatched out there in the sun?
I wish I knew what's bothering you.
This safety school. Classes would be held at the church?
Uh-huh.
I thought so. If I sent my men up there to go to school, some of it might just wear off, and they'd show up for Sunday service, huh?
Well, that wasn't the idea, but suppose some of the men did start going to church. Would it bother you so much?
Yes, it would. If I had anything to do with their going. Those men work for me. I'm the boss. I don't want any confusion about that.
Okay. You get the whole thing.
Now, you listen to me. I'm responsible for those men that work down there in that mine. I teach them safety. Right here on the job. They don't have to go to church to find out how this mine should be run.
No. But I had to go down in your mine, Bart, to find out how my church should be run.
What do you mean by that?
Why was Orville Jackson killed?
He was careless.
Yeah. But why? You instructed him on mine safety, on the job. Why was he careless?
Who knows why? You think you can run a coal mine like a Sunday school?
You ever try running a Sunday school, Bart? You might be wrong about that, too. Well, I think that's about enough for tonight. We'll meet again Wednesday night, same time. You know, I want to thank all of you ladies for coming to my first class in mine safety. And particularly, I want to thank Mrs. Jackson, who urged you to come. You know, some people might laugh at miners, women folks learning about mine safety, but it's not funny. Your man's life can be saved by something you learn here. And eventually, he'll recognize that you're informed, and he'll insist on being better informed. After all, he is the man in the family, as well as a miner. But I don't think anyone can ever know too much about mine safety. In fact, I don't think any one man will ever know everything there is to know about mine safety, or ever enough. Well, that's enough. Class dismissed. Good night, ladies.
I hope to see you here.
Pa? Come on, if you want me to drive you home.
Oh, Art, I want you to talk to Mr. Smith. That's why I asked you to come for me.
Boy, I'm in enough trouble with Tanner just coming here to get you.
I checked with your high school, and they tell me you were drawing good grades when you quit school. That you could have graduated in another 3 months near the top of your class.
Yeah, but I didn't starve first.
Because of your good grades at the time you felt you had to quit school, Your teacher is willing to let you count your work time in the mine as study credits. You can graduate with your class in the spring.
Thanks. Do I get to go to the senior prom with all the little kids, too?
You can go a lot further than that, Art. With a lot of hard work evenings, we can prepare you for a scholarship.
College?
Why not? Want to be a miner all your life?
You coming, Ma? You want to walk home? All I want to know, Ma, is what's wrong with being a miner? There's no law that says I can't work up in the mines.
Your father was a foreman before you were born. Mines closed down. Breaks never came his way again. Even before he started drinking, he didn't seem to be able to better himself.
Well, like you say, Ma, that's the breaks. The guys with 1 million college degrees that end up bums.
Your father was never a bum.
I didn't say he was. Oh, come on, let's talk sense, Ma. Well, if I went to college, how would you live?
Oh, I'd get along.
Yeah, I know how. Relief store beans and Weebly flour and sow belly. Like the other widow ladies in Gloversville. Trying to stretch out that insurance check.
I wouldn't have to stay in Gloversville. I could go away somewhere. Get a job.
Sure. Mr. Smith could probably fix it all up for you. You'd write a letter to somebody on the outside, huh?
Well, he said he would. Oh, Art, don't be like the other boys here in the hills. Get away while you got the chance.
The Reverend Richard C. Smith started you going on this, didn't he?
No, I went to him.
You're lying, Ma. Oh, that don't matter. That's between you and me, but... Well, look, let me tell you about your friend. He's a smart guy, all right. But he's too smart for his own good, trying to come in here and take over like this. Tanner's getting fed up with him. And wait till he hears what he's telling you women about mine safety.
You're not going to tell him.
I won't have to. The first time one of those gals pops off to her old man about how much she knows about after damp and how much the Reverend Mr. Smith is teaching her out of a book, well, look out!
But the Smiths are good people. They're trying to help us, Art.
Maybe they're trying too hard, Ma.
All right, ladies. School's over. You can go home.
Stay right where you are. Mr. Tanner has no authority here.
I've got authority down at the mine. I don't want any unhappy miners working for me. So you girls go on home. Keep your husbands happy.
Don't let him frighten you. He can't fire your men just because you come here.
Now, this school is closed. See that these women get home. Just leave your books on the seats. You won't be needing them. Pick up the books.
Those books are my property.
Oh? Let me see one of those. United States Government Printing Office. Get them free, don't you?
Yes?
All right, Preacher, you can sue me. We'll have a weenie roast without the weenies.
Here's my Bible, Tanner. You can burn that, too. But the church will still be here.
I haven't got anything against churches, Preacher. I haven't even got anything against preachers. When they stick to preaching, you keep your Bible. But if you bring any more of these kind of books in here, I'll burn them for you. And that's a promise.
The men returned to the mine. Tanner had won his point. Here, he was the authority. But his authority could not forgive a careless wiring job and the inevitable fury it unleashed.
Good news. The following men are safe on the way out of the mine. Fred Larson, Matt Bake, Ewing Tucker, Carl Wade, and Joe Collins. Again, we thank the Almighty Father for thy great mercy.
Dick, Mr. Williams is going to help you take this food over to the rescue crew at the mine.
Going over anyway. My gang is still trapped down there.
I just got the Williams crew out of lower C10. All present and accounted for except Williams. He wasn't with them when the fire started. The rest are getting on the elevator now.
Well, that leaves just you and Williams still in the mine, huh?
I'm going back and get Williams.
Hello, Art. Thought maybe you could use a little nourishment over here.
Williams? Hi, Art. Coffee?
Williams, what are you doing up here? Tanner's looking for you down in C10.
I had to go to the first aid station right before the fire started. Cut me off, so I came up with the first gang out of the mine.
But nobody saw you or reported.
I can't help that. Here I am.
Yeah, here you are. Tanner's crowding his luck looking for you down in C10. Yeah.
Art! Can't find Williams. Oxygen all gone.
Tanner! Tanner! Tell him to hold the elevator. I'm going down after him.
You got one of those to spare? I'd like to go along with you.
Officially, you can't go on a rescue operation.
Officially or not, I'm going.
What are you going to do down there? Pray?
Mike?
You went down there after me, preacher?
I went in with Art.
Why? I was never a friend of yours.
Maybe I wanted to see you in church Sunday. My good friends, we're gathered here today to give thanks to God, our Almighty Father. In all humility, we offer our prayers of thanksgiving to Him for our lives, which in His mercy He has spared, and for our brotherhood, which He has tested in fire and found strong. Because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling.